I think a lot of wavy hair routines could be cut in half and you'd still get better results. Online advice leads us to feel like we need an entire bathroom shelf filled with hair care products before we can even get started. But I don't think that's true. I think you can get started with just 5 products, or more accurately, 5 product categories. Let's uncomplicate your routine, starting with shampoo and conditioner. I think a very easy mistake to make is looking at a shampoo and seeing that it says for wavy hair and thinking, great, job done, I'm gonna get that one. Whereas actually, I think you're gonna be much better off if you pick shampoos and conditioners to address your hair and scalp needs. Because wavy hair is a texture, but we all have different hair characteristics. You might have fine wavy hair that gets easily weighed down, or your scalp might produce excess oil and so you need something really thoroughly cleansing. Other people will have wavy hair, but their scalp is really sensitive or have got dandruff. So again, you're gonna need a shampoo that's really targeted. Instead of thinking, is this for wavy hair? I would think, is this gonna help with my hair needs? If your hair is fine or thin or can get easily weighed down, I'd look for something very lightweight or volumizing, and I'd probably avoid buttery, creamy, thicker texture shampoos. An amazing combo for you would be Osmo's Volume Shampoo and Conditioner. I used that set on my hair today and it just feels super soft and like it's got a lovely amount of bounce and life to it. If, however, your scalp and hair gets really oily quickly, you definitely want to look for something that's going to provide a really good cleanse. Now, I have the opposite problem, my hair's on the dry side. So if you are someone who has oily hair, it would be amazing if you would drop your product recommendations into the comments. Thank you. If your hair's colour treated, bleached, fragile or damaged, I would prioritise a shampoo and conditioner that are strengthening and focused on repair. My personal favourites would be Pureology's Strength Cure or Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate. Both the shampoo and conditioner in those sets are amazing for fragile, damaged hair. If you have a very sensitive scalp, then I would say you'd want to look for products that are fragrance-free, that don't contain essential oils or any strong active ingredients. You definitely want something that's going to provide a really gentle, non-irritating cleanse. If you live in a hard water area, you've got chemical and mineral buildup, then a targeted shampoo like L'Oreal's Metal Detox will be really, really good for you. And finally, if you struggle with dandruff, then a shampoo designed for wavy hair is definitely not going to cut it. You're going to want something much more targeted. The point is that the shampoo you pick does not need to be marketed for wavy hair. It just needs to address your personal scalp and hair needs. Now you're going to want a conditioner, and this is where I think we're going to have to chat about silicons. Because I know, particularly if you've just started on this like wavy hair routine and wavy hair journey, you will probably have been told to avoid silicons at all costs. And if that is working for you, then great. But from my personal experience, reintroducing silicons back into my hair care routine 12 to 18 months ago is definitely one of the better things that I've done for my hair. There are different types of silicons. Some are water soluble, some are non-soluble. There is one called amodimethicone that will quite often be found in reparative or strengthening conditioners. But to be honest, if you want to understand more about the science behind them, then I would definitely go and check out Lab Muffin on YouTube or Science Meets Beauty on Instagram, because both of those women are scientists who can explain so much better than I can what they're actually doing for your hair. However, what I can do is share my personal experience, and that is that reintroducing silicons has made my hair feel stronger, healthier, like it has more protection from everyday wear and tear, and it has grown much longer than when I was being really strict about avoiding them. Do I think my hair is less wavy since I started using silicons again? Possibly, but it's also so much longer that I think it's hard to say. Where my hair is shorter, where I've got some shorter face framing pieces, they do tend to have more wave pattern to them. So it could just be the length. But honestly, for me, I would choose soft, shiny, healthy feeling hair that has a slightly looser wave pattern than the dry, fragile hair that I used to have. My favourite conditioners contain amodimethicone, which is a silicone that rather than coat the entire hair will actually just stick, I don't know if that's the right word, to the parts of damage. So it means that your hair won't get weighed down. Pureology Hydrate conditioner is probably my all-time favourite for this, but a more budget-friendly alternative would be Toni & Guy's Volume Addiction. So step 1 in your routine, shampoo and conditioner, done. The second product that I would choose would be a treatment product. You want to pick one target product for your main hair concern. If your hair is damaged, especially from bleach, overheat styling, chemical processes, I would definitely make that treatment product bond repair. Now, depending on the severity of damage that you're dealing with and also your budget, I would say if you can afford it and your hair is severely damaged, go for K18 or Epres. For a mid-range recommendation, I'd probably go with Olaplex. And if you want something a little bit more budget-friendly, Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate, or if you can get hold of it, Garnier's Hair Filler. If your hair's high porosity, dry, rough feeling, and really not good at retaining moisture, I would opt for a richer, deeply nourishing conditioning mask. For something rich and creamy, I'd go with Tsubaki's Repair Mask. For a very budget-friendly option, I'd go with Pantene's Molecular Repair Mask. Or if you also need a little bit of structure back to your hair, Philip Kingsley's Elasticizer. If, however, your hair feels like it lacks elasticity, it's really difficult to style, it won't hold shape very well, it perhaps has that slightly weird texture of candy floss or like a gummy feeling, then a protein treatment is probably going to be best for you to pick for this category. My all-time favourite is EVO's Mane Attention. Absolutely incredible at giving your hair back its vitality and manageability. However, a much more budget-friendly option would be Elizavecca's Cer100 Coating Collagen Treatment. Now, if your main issue is your hair's very tangly and frizzy, then I would actually make your treatment product a leave-in conditioner. A really good one that's a multitasker. Something like Bumble and Bumble's Invisible Oil or Revlon's Unique One. And if your main concern is that your hair is shedding or thinning, then honestly, I think the first thing you want to do is go and see a medical professional. But it might be that your treatment product needs to be a scalp care product, but definitely go and get professional advice on that one. But yeah, just work out what's your main concern and then buy one targeted product to help with that. That way you don't end up with like 10 different treatment products and not enough time or energy to use them all. The third product I would buy if I was starting out with wavy hair is a brush, a gentle brush. I know, it's not perhaps the sexiest item, but I really think it's essential. And if, like me, at some point you've fallen down the curly hair method hole and you feel like you must never pick up a hairbrush, well, you can forget that. You've got waves, not curls. Brushing, I think, is necessary. I mean, how the bloody hell are you going to get rid of tangles if you never use a brush on your hair? But with that said, I do think you want a gentle brush. Something that isn't going to pull or snag or just rip through knots. I think a gentle brush is a really versatile tool to have. It will detangle, it will smooth frizz, it'll help you distribute product throughout your hair more evenly. You can do different styling with it and also just refresh your hair on day 2 and day 3 so that you don't look like you've been dragged through a hedge backwards. If I had to pick one brush, if you're just starting out, it would either be a tangle teaser or a wet brush. And if you're like, well, which one, Tori? I would say if you tend to use a brush more when you're in the shower, go for the wet brush. And if you tend to use it more on dry hair, go for the tangle teaser. Both are gentle, both are versatile, and both are really easy to get hold of. What you don't need when you're starting out is a whole collection of different brushes. It just gets too overwhelming, and honestly, I just think when you're first starting, keep it really nice and simple. You don't need a bounce curl brush or a Denman, just one gentle brush that will help you detangle and not cause breakage. Okay, fourth product, a single styler. You've probably seen and tried wavy hair routines that layer lots of different hold products. I prefer a simpler approach, and that's just a single styler. I found that layering mousses, curl creams, gels and foams can just cause my hair to get pretty much overwhelmed and end up looking kind of overworked as well. I mentioned this in another video, and I hope it helps if you've just really started out on your wavy hair care journey. I like to think of waves as silk ribbons, whereas curls are more like springs. The curl structure gets reinforced by layering hold products, whereas a wave just gets overwhelmed and weighed down. Now, if you don't know where to start, I will be honest, I think there is a bit of trial and error with products, particularly when it comes to stylers, but I thought I would just kind of share some starting points. If you're someone who wants volume, perhaps your hair is fine or thin or just gets easily weighed down, then I think you might prefer a foam or a mousse, as long as you don't mind the feeling of a little bit of texture in your hair. A foam will give you some definition, a little bit of hold, but because it has that texture, it will also give you the illusion of having a little bit more hair than you naturally do. Now, being completely upfront with you, foams, mousses, they're not my personal favourite. However, if I was going to reach for one, it would be Function of Beauty. Budget friendly, very light, not sticky and not crunchy. But yeah, honestly, it's not my go-to. I see other people use it and I'm like, God, that looks beautiful. Never works for mine. Mine, it just gets big and not in a good way. If you want something really simple that is going to do multiple jobs in one, single stylers like JVN's Air Dry Cream, EVO Liquid Rollers Curl Balm, Bumble and Bumbles Don't Blow It. These are some of my favourite single stylers that will help tame frizz. They'll add a little bit of hold to your hair and create lovely definition without weighing it down or making it feel sticky or crunchy. And plus they can also be used whether you're air drying or diffusing, so they're really versatile products. And finally, one other recommendation I would make if you're starting out and you do want a little bit more hold, Olaplex No.10. It is a gel, but it doesn't behave like any other gel I've ever used. No cast, no crunch, just a lovely light hold which creates some beautiful definition, tames some frizz, but if you wanted, you could gently brush it out on day 2 or 3 so that you could restyle your hair in a different way. And Olaplex No.10 is what I used on my hair today. I used it alongside my shower styling routine, and I think it just creates a lovely amount of definition to my very loose wave pattern. If you'd like to know how I do that routine, I'll link the video above. And the last product I think any wavy hair beginner needs is some form of nighttime protection. Did you expect me to say a hair oil? I know, it was a really close call, but I think this is one of those small changes that I've made that has had a massive impact on my hair health. So it had to be product number 5. While you sleep, your hair's going to be rubbing against your neck, possibly your shoulders if it's long enough, your pillow, your pajamas, and all of that friction will cause frizz. And it's one of the reasons it's so easy to get frustrated with wavy hair, because you feel like, oh, I finally nailed it on day 1, and then you wake up looking like Hagrid on day 2, and you're like, oh, why did I even bother? Protecting your hair at night will not only make your hair look better first thing in the morning, but it can also reduce damage because it's reducing that friction. Less tangles, less knots, less breakage. So I think protecting your wavy hair at night is definitely something you want to do when you first start out. You've got a few options that you could choose from. All of them are simple and are not going to add loads of time to your nighttime routine. You could use silk or satin scrunchies and just put your hair up into a protective hairstyle, so something like a loose plait or a ponytail. You could swap your cotton pillowcase for a silk or satin one to help reduce friction. Or my personal favourite is a bonnet. And honestly, I would not be without it. And of course you could also use a satin or silk scarf and just use different wrapping methods. I just find that's a little bit more time consuming than a simple bonnet. I don't think this makes your routine complicated. I actually think it saves you time and energy on day 2. If you'd like a couple of really easy styling methods for wavy hair that will go with those single styler options from product number 4, then you may want to watch this video next. Thank you as always for being here. Have a lovely day. Take care. See you next time. Bye.